Welcome to Game Domain. I'm Kyle, and I will be reporting to you about Apple's annual September event, which happened just a few hours ago. Many things were announced at this event, the biggest of which was the latest iPhone. The event was held in the newly finished Steve Jobs Theater at Apple's new headquarters, of which the finishing touches are still being applied. And I must say, the theater looks insane based on photos I have seen from those who attend the media-only event. Most Apple events from this day forward will be held there. One thing that was announced at the event was a new Apple TV. This model is similar to the Generation 4 model, but the 5th generation now supports 4K and HDR. This is great because it enhances your viewing experience drastically. The pricing is similar to the 2015 model except the 32GB model, which is now $180 instead of $150. The 64GB model is still $199. There is also a big performance boost in this model. The 2017 Apple TV features an A10X Fusion chip, which is a huge upgrade over the 8.8 chip used in the 2015 Apple TV. Pre-orders for the new Apple TV start on September 15th, and it will be released on September 22nd. Next, I'm going to talk about the new Apple Watch. The biggest addition to the Series 3 is the inclusion of LTE connectivity, so you can talk and text without your iPhone nearby. There is also another performance boost here with the addition of a new dual-core processor known as the W3 to make everything 70% faster and more fluent. And I can tell you firsthand that this is going to be a major difference because the previous two Apple Watches were pretty sluggish when opening apps and returning to the home screen, even though the Series 2 improved on this slightly. The Apple Watch Series 3 will be available to pre-order starting on September 15th at a starting price of $329 without cellular and $399 with cellular. It will be released on September 22nd. And last but not least, the iPhone. Or should I say, iPhones. Today, Apple announced not only one new iPhone, but 3 new iPhones. I'm going to talk about 2 of these models first. Apple announced the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus with a significant difference from the iPhone 7. While the external design is similar to a design that was first introduced with the iPhone 6 and updated with the iPhone 7, the exterior of the iPhone 8 is now glass, not metal. Glass iPhones have not been produced since the 4S way back in 2011, and it is a welcome change to see the return of the glass iPhone. The new iPhones also include a custom-made processor called the A11. Apple describes this chip as a bionic chip with a unique 6-core design featuring 2 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. This processor also includes an Apple-designed GPU that is 30% more powerful than the A10 processor found in the previous model. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are also getting a camera boost, with both getting a new 12-megapixel camera with a faster and larger sensor, new color filter, and deeper pixels. Both models also include Portrait Mode, a feature previously exclusive to the iPhone 7 Plus, as well as a new feature called Portrait Lighting, which introduces studio-quality lighting effects to the iPhone. In addition, both models feature 4K video recording at 60 frames per second and slow motion at 240 frames per second. Another welcome addition to these iPhones is the inclusion of wireless charging, which will support most wireless charging docks. Apple is currently designing their own dock, which will launch sometime in 2018. As for the displays, the sizes have not changed, although the displays now support True Tone, a feature previously exclusive to the iPad Pro. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus come in space gray, silver, and a new gold finish. They are open to pre-order starting September 15th with a September 22nd release. They will be available in both 64GB and 256GB versions, and with an improved file system that allows you to store more video on the phones. Now, I'll talk about the third model, the most speculated model of the 3, the iPhone X. Why is this phone called the iPhone X? It's the iPhone's 10th anniversary. This model includes a drastically different design and looks much different from all other iPhones produced to date. One of the most striking differences is the lack of a home button. Apple has removed this to make way for a larger screen, similar to what Samsung has used in their S8 line. How do I get home, you might be asking yourself? The answer is a series of finger gestures, which is very easy to learn and very fluent. The display is 5.8 inches and is known as a Super Retina display. The display also supports Dolby Vision in HDR as well as Apple's True Tone technology. This model also includes the A11 processor used in the iPhone 8 as well as a GPU that enables graphics at 60 frames per second. The body is a mix of glass and stainless steel. Like many people predicted, Touch ID, the fingerprint scanning technology used since the iPhone 5S, is not present. Instead, Apple uses a new technology called Face ID, which uses a brand new front-facing camera to unlock your phone using your face. The camera is a 7-megapixel camera known as True Depth. As for the rear camera, it is 12 megapixels, features 2 vertically oriented lenses, and features quad LED True Tone flash, making your photos look much better. Portrait mode and portrait lighting are also present in this model. This model also supports wireless charging while still including the lightning cable present since the iPhone 5. Unlike the iPhone 8, this model also includes a feature called Animoji, or animated emoji. Using the TrueDepth camera and 3D technology inside the camera, users can create animated emoji based on their facial expressions. The iPhone X will be available in 64GB and 256GB options and will start at $999 as speculated, but will not be launching on September 22nd. Instead, the iPhone X will be available to pre-order starting October 27th and launching on November 3rd, breaking Apple's usual September release plan. While many assumed Apple would reveal additional details of the HomePod and the iMac Pro, they didn't. But we do know both will be launching in December. That's all the news from today's Apple event. After the event, do you still prefer iOS or Android?